On to the Rifts. Let's hear the crowds for game 1. Ooh, that's loud. Of course, the big thing for JDG is that because they're not in their own arena, they don't get that Jing Dong guy. Presumably he goes to the local matches. By the way, J-Borg and Spencer Man as well, I really appreciate your subs as you put in there. Really do appreciate you. By the way, for those horse game enjoyers that did make it through to Group A finals. So, we shall see what will happen there. Ooh, do they get to kill the ward in time? They do! Okay, do they put down another ward? Chance can stun the first person that would go to auto-attack it. No, alright. Alright, so anyone's legend not able to get themselves vision onto the clear. Which means that if something gets creative, you won't exactly know about it. And that ward will not spot raptors. That ward will not spot should as he goes down that side. It will spot if there's a walk over river. If he walks in towards enemy blue side, it'll spot him on the invade. It won't spot everything. And by the way, folks, apologies for slightly lower energy today. I have had a lot of work in the last weekend or so. But hey, hopefully the gameplay brings out the energy anyway. Kyle getting his Zenith Blade at level 1. Crash down onto, gets some damage down onto Pays. Hope he's off the W to, not W, the Q to get extra damage across there. I played some very competitive Jenga with Odo Omnihid, Jack, Spectre, and Law yesterday. After the games. Don't ask questions. Level 2 hit by Kyle and Hope. Prayer Beard coming across there. The Arc of Judgment. Arc of Judgment, that's the one. Explain why Yunara's priority is so high. Ooh, the flip back. Not cleanly landing. Flash for flash. Good reactions there from Hope. Why is Yunara's priority so high? Well, she wins lane against almost anyone. There's almost no one that she loses lane against. And she's very, very good at dueling almost every AD carry in the game. Heal blown on both sides. Crashdown does land onto Kyle. Kyle still has his flash, worth noting. Wave now controlled by Pays and Draw. Did lose a little bit of farm on the push-in from Hope and Kyle. Sounds very desynced, are they? I don't think they're very desynced. I actually think it's pretty on point. If anything, it's only just a fraction of the fraction of a second. Level 3 is level 2 now. The bounce back successful frame from Pays and Draw. She's relevant early, mid, late, and late, but she's only bad at late. I think when it gets to very full build, yeah. We did see Kalist try and... You might see it again top side. Kalist tried to go for the double lifesteal build. Yeah, I wonder whether this is dive health range, actually. You do have full build Poppy, which is, you know, level 3 in a dream. It's level 4, in fact. It's luxury, even more than full build. So jungle activity early, not been massive. We do have the lane swap coming in now. AD carry for top lane changed out. Now, why is that the case? I mean, I don't know if that's the lane matchup you want, is it? That's it. I would have thought that you'd be happy in the 2v2 that you had right there. Maybe the matchup does flip a little bit once you get to level 3. Corki gets all the basic abilities. Wouldn't have expected it, but such is the way of things. Ambassador now going towards top side. Will hold on to the teleport, interestingly. So what we might see now, because typically what you do is you lane swap when you can catch 2 waves at the same time. Both on top lane and bot lane. You can catch them at your turret. If you have to use your teleport to do so, so be it. So maybe JDG can hold on to that and use that teleport. Basically do the same thing in slightly, in a few minutes. Which means that top lanes have desynced top teleports. So flash away early from Shanks. Sure, doesn't have his own flash, so we can't force that. will get themselves a nice summoner. Scout trying to push in this mid lane now too. Again, Shanks, on the whole, had an okay split. Scout, on the whole, not had an okay split. I will say his Orianna has been one of his more successful champions, but the more that we get into this playoffs, the more you have to realize, well, JDG are now top 4 again. Actually, they're top 4. And they got blown out of last playoffs by Team WE, of course. They didn't even make playoffs this time around. JDG, for all of their failures this year, they get a good playoffs run now. And they do manage to get into the higher positions, perhaps even going through regionals to worlds. Then you have to consider, well, maybe they have done what they wanted to, what they needed to this year, what they set out to do. Dragon alive. They started. Dragon's quite a large time investment this early into the game. Because no one kills it fast enough. You know, weirdly enough, Sejuani, one of the people that can kill Dragon quite quickly. If you have someone like a Yone walking with you as well. Kyle does have flash, doesn't need to use it. Does get Everblade and the Shield of Daybreak. It does have flash. Can we force the flash backwards? Ooh, QW. Half HP. 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 But, not forced to flash. Is that Hope's first Nymaera game? I don't believe so. I believe I've seen it before. Could be wrong. Go have a check though. He's played one game of it. He lost it. He played one game of it. So not played it that much. Not going to lie, I do just feel everyone's played the Nymaera at this point. He's winning game 1. Well, you know, the team that kills the Nexus tends to be the way of things. I think I do prefer JDG's comp, because I think anyone's legend run out of damage, especially if the Nymaera ever gets ulted by the Ambassador, or the Shockwave lands. But I think AL have been playing better than JDG. AL have been playing well. So on comp, I think it's JDG, but on players, I think it's a lot more even. It's quite a hard one to judge, actually, with that in mind. Now, teleport just going back up for Flandre. Xiaoshu has his availability back, so if he wants to use it. Looks like we might have a fight here. First, Grub goes down, Zenith Blade goes in after the Solar Flare. Hope pops the ultimate. Tarzan, no wall stun for you. Flashed away from. 2 Grubs to AL very likely now, and they will take that. JDG not calling in Xiaoshu. Some summoners blown. 1 for each team. Flash from each jungler. AL IG was not on my bingo card for the lower bracket. Yeah, well, Weibo really locked in for 1 series to really screw over IG, huh? Send AL down into that lower bracket. Oh, IG. Expected so much from them. But, oh, hang on. I'll go on bot side. It should be spotted here. Flandre not going to be able to flash his or ult his way out. I think he'll just die. No flash for him, though. Xiaoshu not wanting to go himself. Okay. Maybe flash earlier so he can keep the vision there. Flandre will make it out. Great use of the tools available to him to make it out alive. Survives the Pantheon ult. After missing onto phase there. Yeah, him making it out there is not illegal, folks. That is not legal. Tarzan, okay. Forcing him away from turrets so he doesn't get any of the minions. Oh, sure, I've seen much of that, really. Normally like having that ultimate, but it feels like a little bit of... Oh, hang on a second, Zenithblade going forwards. There is a flash of Alpha Scout if he can make it out here. He does now. Tarzan could go for a wall stun. Double Shockwave onto the jungle support. Xiaoshu does not have flash, does not have ult. When's his next cooldown coming over? That's the wall stun onto him. Double E means that the Nymaera can't start dashing around, but now that's one off, and the first skill goes towards JDG. Hope going over the wall, but Pace follows him, and the Valkyrie starts to do damage, and Hope does have a flash. Doesn't matter, he goes down. Shanks now on the retreat. Great Captain Jack from Pace as he takes another one. From one Korean AD carry to the other. Not to Hope, you know, from one. Captain Jack all those years ago, teaching us how to do that cleanse, passing it down the lineage. Korean AD carries, Pace, picks himself up, a kill and an assist. I mean, this is way too deep from anyone's legend. Way too deep. Did not understand the Poppy ultimate. Barely understood the fight after. Pace, fantastic play from him. So now we don't get any game sound now for the replay for reasons. And you can see that the burst from Shanks not really doing that much onto the Catalyst building Orianna. Tarzan goes down to half HP. This is what happens on the bot side of the map. Wait, oh, does he steal Dragon? There's no smite from Shun. Oh, does he steal it? No, not quite. Okay. So, Shun, what happens here? Well, he doesn't have his flash either anymore. No one's coming down to help him, and Flandre just walks up and kills the Pantheon. Okay, well played by Flandre there. Ends up getting the kill onto Shun unexpectedly. Damn, fair play. Even in gold now. 2 grubs to one side, Dragon to the other. And basically no one has flash. Hope is the only person with flash in the game, really. Really don't understand why they stayed ganking after the teleport was seen. That was very dangerous. Yeah, I agree. I think this is an early reminder that anyone's Legends damage is quite low unless Hope is the one in the play. And you can see that the Hope had to flash in to join the play. Objective's not up for a little while now. First item in almost ever. And it won't be for Flandre for a little while because he's gone towards Bramble Vest, which may not be turned into the Thornmail first. And then also the Swiftness Boots as well. Cull about to cash in from Hope. Not built up from Pays worth noting. When he pops that Cull, it will likely be an evening up of the gold. Try that from Shash. The Eclipse is coming through. Still think that Eclipse is quite an overrated item, but Ambassador uses it very well because of the shield bash. Kyle has been doing it. Hang on a second. Tarzan does have flash. It'll get the wall. Stun! Very dead Pays. His jungle support were just around the corner, but they were not in front of him, and they could not stop that play from happening. Pinpoint on the wall there from Tarzan. Great kill onto the enemy AD carry. Pantheon on Vision again. That's the second time that Shun has been spotted out by that damn control ward. Walked into the brush. He was spotted, so his ultimate's down. Used the smite early, which means that he'll probably lose this prog style as well because he smited early. Okay, alright. That's just what we're doing now. I was about to say 2-level lead. It's only a single level lead for Scout here before the Rod of Ages even gets ticking up. The ultimate from Shanks onto Scout, not that successful. Takes about half the HP. Tarzan about to make his 5th LPL final straight. He didn't make it in spring last year, right? Because he wasn't playing in spring last year. Oh, if you count it as him... Oh, the last time he played before that. No, I understand it there. Yeah. Yeah, so he played all 3 if he makes it to finals, he'll have made it for all 3 this year. But then last year he made it in summer, but wasn't playing in spring. He made 4 straight finals with 3 different teams. That's true, yeah. Is this whether you count the split off or not? I guess you would. I guess you wouldn't, rather. So yeah, okay, yeah, that's a fair thing to talk. Of course, we'll have to make it through top esports the round after this too, and then Tarzan versus Kanavi, always a pleasure. I will say, on the whole, this LPL playoffs has very much been determined by jungle diff. I think the one series which anyone's Legend lost, you can argue, was sort of jungle diff, because Tien actually out-jungled Tarzan. Of course, that didn't happen for the rest of the series that way, but played. While awaiting action, will your brother cover EMEA Masters? I'm actually not sure. So he's not. So he's currently at a wedding. I'd imagine he will do. Is Shun a better jungler than Tarzan? No, because Tarzan is probably the best in the LPL, but that doesn't mean that Shun is bad. Tarzan is just very, very, very good. Herald started and likely finished by anyone's legend. Still had 2 grubs and a herald to force down towers. Dragon is alive. If JDG were to take that, they would get themselves their 2nd dragon, which is... What did Finn say? 2 dragons is a warning, 3 dragons is a threat. That's not used on top side by Shanks. Really wants to clearly push this wave as fast as possible. Bad chunk there. Scout will tank up 1 turret shot with the command protect. Tarzan rushes the mid lane turret. Won't kill, but takes a lot of damage down. And now with 2 grubs, only take, you know, 3-4 autos after that and be dead. Shanks taking this turret top side. Scout taking aggro first. Turret starts to heat up. Pantheon now coming down too. And Ambassador blocks the way out. Tower taken on the other side. So first turret of the game goes to anyone's legend, but Flandre will die under bot lane turret. And we'll take a break for the next 30 seconds. Mid lane turret now threatened by anyone's legend. They'll take that one easily, so it's likely going to be a 2-for-1 turret trade. With the extra kill going over to JDG, of course, too. What's the next player of the game then? So we have Atakan in 2.5 minutes. Dragon a little after that. We are getting, well, 2 items on Nymaera is kind of nice as the 400 gold lead after popping the cull and getting that mid lane turret gold. Two items for Xiaoshu though. 2 item ambassador is not a fair champion, folks. Hey, by the way, Rahidon, hope you're doing well. I did miss that raid a few minutes ago. Don't have my alert box on when I'm on this scene. Reminds me, I do need to put that pinned message up in chat as well, which I can do. Find myself the time. Tarzan does have flash, but will be alley-ooped by scouts. Flash for flash. Kyle blocked out of his Zenith Blade by the Magnet Storm. Triple shockwave coming through. It's not that much damage. It's a decent amount of CC, and JDG will survive the bot lane play. Ambassador pushing in top side. 2 grubs for the San makes it a lot easier for them. Some funky interactions as well. Well, basically, he used the Magnet Storm to knock Leona out of their own Zenith Blade. Turret will be taken on bot side. 3 turrets now for anyone's legend. They have the entire outer ring taken down in the last few minutes. Sure, walking towards the top side of the map now. Atakan in a minute. Yeah, let's go quickly just put some messages in chat. And let's ramp up for the next fights of the game. Well, with Atakan spawning in the next few seconds, have to start thinking. You always have to think about Atakan. You always do. It's been a rather chill game, which, you know what? I'm not always against myself. That's for me to be eased back into it, really. That's Atakan's voice line. I'm scared of that one. It's spooky. It's been a lot of ganking, but it feels like everyone's just farming into mid-game. And I'm wondering who that favors. I mean, there's no significant gold lead. Yeah, that 1,000 annuals legend, but realistically, it's not game winning. Scion's getting pretty good access to farm. Good stacks right now. Almost 1,000 by the 21-minute mark. It's not bad for him. Sunfire going towards likely an Unending Despair second as well. I mean, Ambassador's on 2 items. That's a strong break point. This Ambassador can be really threatening because anyone's legend, they just need to make sure that the Yunara is doing damage. If Yunara is doing damage, their composition works. The Ambassador can stop that. There are 2 items now in for that sign, as we were talking about that Unending Despair. Muramana not quite ticked up the Haze yet. Needs a little bit more time to stack up the tier component of it. Atakan for feats of strength. You're absolutely right. We do have Dragon and Atakan, and that will be our feats of strength marker. Because the objective's the only thing which is separating those two teams now. Atakan started. It will be on vision. JDG will be spotted. Anyone's legendary ward just outside the Tri-Brush. They should know about this now. What does Scion do? Does he teleport? Does he ultimate? He's out of range from his ult right now, and he needs to teleport in. Alright, so that means it's going to be a little bit leashed, down to half HP. JDG will want to make sure that the stacks of Atakan's Shred fall off. Then they'll want, hopefully, anyone's legend to go in towards that. That's an ultimate onto Xiaoshu, and goes straight into the Steadfast Presence. Should have flashed instead. Without the Ambassador, I think the team fight becomes so much more difficult, and to flash away from the Shockwave. This is going to be some anti-synergy. Hope walking forwards has enough movement speed for anyone's legend to rip their first big fight of the game. Big mistake from Xiaoshu. Big mistake from Draw just after as well. JDG, leash the Atakan, do not control vision, and anyone's legend slap him. Great fight from Tarzan and from Hope in particular. Separating out the Ambassador, then running down the competition. Anyone's legend will claim themselves the Atakan, the feats of strength, and a bunch of gold off the back of it. Oh, what a disaster, Atakan. Leashed it first, the, stun comes in, and then you just have to flash early. You can't afford to dash within range of Poppy. Ambassador's dashes are so slow as well, and Dwarf flashes with the Shockwave on him, which sucks. Which means the Shockwave is a whiff. Scout goes down after. Hope gets to gun down 2 others. Easy as you like. Easy as you like. So anyone's legend have themselves the extra petals now. I think they got about 10 off of that. That's a con. And of course 4 kills, which is the big one. JDG didn't get themselves a single kill in that fight. Not a single one. We're just talking about how Ambassador is very important in these fights, and right there was shut down very cleanly. That's why we were saying, well, JDG needs to position well. The front line from them is kind of non-existent. That's sort of what we meant. Believe it'll be anyone's legend versus BLG. I think that will be the case too. That being said, top esports are still a pretty good team. And just by having Kanavi, you have a chance to threaten anyone's legend, because you do have the 2 best junglers within the league. If any, of course, the winner of this goes on to face top esports in the lower bracket finals. And then the winner of that goes on to play the grand finals in the grand finals. Technically, all of this playoffs is known as the grand finals. Scout caught out on the side lane. No one's coming to help him. Does have flash, does have teleport. I don't think either of them are going to save him, though. And that'll be a dead Orianna. Stun charged up. Goodbye, Clockwork Lady. Kill for Shanks, his opposing member. Shun on the flank now, and JDG have just not really been able to protect their people away from the pack. Another turret taken, an inner one this time, so good gold. Shun. Not around for this one. I haven't seen his ultimate for a little while. Tarzan walking towards Xiaoshu, takes a chunk out of him. Tarzan's been playing the Poppy very well. His W value has been insane so far. Feather Anyone's Legend got that extra dragon as well now, the first of the Hex checks. Means that it's much harder for JDG to get a soul point win condition, a soul win condition, I suppose. Did everyone see the copy pasta, like, from the interview from Initialise? Last night I had a nightmare that I was kicked from the team. I woke up drenched in sweat, completely afraid. Then I went back to sleep, and the nightmare continued. It left me a bit shaken up this morning, but looking back, maybe the nightmare was lucky as we ended up winning today. God, that's some dramatic stuff. Of course, actually had a fantastic series versus Genji. No, versus T1 the other day. That's the one. KT, of course, had the one versus Genji. Flandre caught out on the side lane. Wow, that's a lot of damage. You cannot underestimate that damage to the Ambessa as the Siren immediately goes down. Well, and now I wonder, do JDG feel like they can Baron? I think they have to Baron. You know, they're in fact going to go to the ultimate in the top side. If they can catch out Shanks, that is a huge victory for them. Stun for stun traded. Shanks doesn't have flash. Can go draw get there in time. Kyle flash forwards. Not getting that much, so Shun taking a chunk out of Shanks. Tarzan spotted on the flank here. I do just wonder if they should have gone Atacon. They're 20 seconds, not Atacon, Baron. They do have 20 seconds till that guy now respawns. They're taking their sweet time about it, and they choose not to take the objective. Hope was pushing in mid lane, could have threatened an inhibitor turret. Kyle doesn't have flash available right now. Teleport across the rift. There is going to be an ultimate available from the Ambessa. Hope going forwards. Flash. Point-and-click stun, and the Tarzan ultimate is blocked by the unstoppable nature of the Ambessa ultimate. Shanks needs to get a big combo, gets 3 in there. Shun goes down. Shockwave goes onto someone else, though, as Tarzan needs to live, otherwise the Smite will go down with it. And JDG find a way to take the damage off the table, and suddenly it's 4 dead. That will open up the Baron on the top side of the map as JDG lose their smites, but they will take everything else in the fight. This Baron is now their prize. JDG, a great teleport across the rift to make sure they can catch out Hope. That'll be a 4-man Baron. Shun will not get the prize. Flandre using the ultimate, trying to see if he can dunk onto them, but slams into the wall. Unfortunate for him. Teleport now coming in, though, from Leona. It's going to go very, very low. And remember, it is no smite claimed by the Orianna and jump out of the pit. Flandre trying to get some exit kills. The repudiation, good damage from him. And it's the flash back over the wall from Paze. And now it's just the Leona. It's just the Leona. They don't have the damage left, and Kyle might even die himself. Kyle teleported in, but only finds his own doom. JDG get another couple of kills. Now Shanks is coming to join the party. What does he even find here? Nothing. Anyone's Legend throwing globals at the play, but can't find anything. Is that going to be the Dragon 2? I mean, you do have the teleport from Scout to get him back out onto the rift. Great flash from Shun onto Nymaera, and then because he's still in the animation, he's still unstoppable, so Tarzan ultimate goes nowhere. Blocked by the unstoppable Ambassador ultimate. How is Xiaoshu alive? By sheer bloody mindedness. And a ton of Omnivamp. Wait, what happened? I went to get my coffee. Well, it started off with an isolated pick, and then it just kind of snowballed. Flandre died, leaving JDG with the frontline advantage. Teleported to catch anyone's Legend out as they tried to push in mid lane with their bot lane. Then things snowballed from there. Sold points to JDG, the third one. And they have the Baron in tow. They're in a gold lead for the first time this game, question mark? First time in a long time. Maybe sometime in the early game they had it. Great play from JDG. Very good use of the globals to catch out anyone's Legend as they retreated from mid lane through their bot side jungle. Scout winning 3 best of 5 prophecy is so strong. Actually, how many has he won this year so far? Have a look. Well, JDG won 1, 2... yeah. Yeah, if Scout were to win this one, he would have won 3 best of 5s in summer. Again. God, when was the last time he didn't do that, thinking about it? Well, he did it last year to make Worlds. This is live? Yes, this is live. This is live default. Good poke from Paze. 1,000 gold down, but we are getting to the point where I feel like the Nymaera runs out of some value because it's too much tough to threaten her. You have no secondary carry on your team, really, as anyone's Legend. The Annie, I don't think the Annie counts. Not really. Especially now you're going to Rylise as well. I don't know if the Rylise is the right idea, folks. I think Shanks needs to go much more down. Xiaoshu going towards Flandre, rather. Has the 3rd level of the ultimate, so has 30% Omnivamp and Armor Pen. Tarzan does have ultimate over the wall, potentially. No flash to use. Scout caught by the... Ooh, almost caught by the solar flap. It's caught by the Arc of Judgment before that. Right, since global junglers are a thing in the meta, when should we expect Briar? Briar did get some changes a while back, so you can ward hop with the Q for some crazy gank path. Yeah, so you can't watch on LoL Esports yet. There's no official LPL broadcast anymore, so you have to watch through streams like this. Now, I am a professional commentator, so I, you know, hopefully you still get a good experience, but yeah. Bit of a low tide again. LoL state draw. Does have flash, puts down a ward and finds that Kyle and Hope. Good damage onto him. They're putting him. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Hope kills him. I don't think Draw expected that much damage. Could have flashed out to safety, chose not to. Saying it was low tide, but we do get ourselves a wave crashing in. No, we use that for minions. That doesn't work. A brief surge. Good kill by Hope and Kyle. Nothing really invested for them either. But the thing that Draw's not gone towards the Redemption, has gone towards Mikhail's and Locket instead. Redemption's so strong right now. Oh, Shemesinkin, worth noting that the LPL English channel is one that they used before there even was an official LPL broadcast. So LPL English, they're using a channel which was set up by the likes of Kelsey Moser, Emily Rand, way back in the day. It's not the channel which they used to do the official broadcast on, so it's not the channel which we were using last year and the years before that. You know, it's their channel. It's good at search engine optimization. They probably would have likely gotten a lot of the numbers anyway, right? But, yeah. The lineage of LPL broadcast is fairly complicated with this one. Yeah, it was the old bootleg broadcast that they used to have back in 2013. Flandra pushing up this top side. 3 items now. 3 items for Xiaoxu with Death's Dance, which makes him so much harder to kill. 4 items for Pays, but then again, there's 4 items for Hope with the defensive boots as well. Shun, level 17. Pretty strong now on the Pantheon, really, because of course he gets some extra armor pen as his ultimate levels up. You get 10% per level from the Pantheon ultimate too. Worth noting that Ambessa Ultimate's passive is basically just better Pantheon ult passive. His Pantheon also gets armor penetration from his ult, but Ambessa gets lifesteal too, / Omnivamp, which Pantheon doesn't get. Sion with a 4 item Nymaera, surely anyone's legend can't lose. I don't know. I think if an Ambessa ult ever hits Hope, I think the fight ends. Maybe there's a bit of peel from Kyle and Tarzan, but I do just feel if Hope ever has to dash backwards or gets caught by Draw or Xiaoxu, it becomes very hard to play. 20 seconds till Dragon now will be sold for JDG if they can get it. It means that anyone's legend need to find a way to stop JDG from claiming the objective. Now, Flandra is not nearly as tanky as I thought he was. Xiaoxu really gutted him in one of those last plays. Flash away from Hope. Also had a Fog of War. Great reaction timing from Hope. One of our oldest AD carries in the league, but those hands have not aged poorly. Shanks flashes towards him, misses the stun! Hope's on a range to do damage! Now Hope's DPSing over the wall. That's a little bit better. Shockwave on to 3. Shun does have the E available as he comes up. Will not get himself a clean flash in there, though. And despite Shanks completely breaking his own ankles, I think anyone's legend will walk away with the fight. Shun is dead. There is no smite. I don't really know why JDG felt like they had to go for a fight in that kind of terrain. I don't get it. Hope. Fairly low HP, I suppose. Heals up a little bit. Flandra walking out. The Xiaoxu has a good amount of damage. It might all be on Xiaoxu. The dragon getting lower. Anyone's legend just really need this to die. Got another 20 HP. God, that was a scary smite. Kyle will die. Xiaoxu, does he have his ultimate coming up soon? It is quite late into the game. I wonder if this retreat goes long enough, whether Xiaoxu can get his ult back up. It should be up in about 15 seconds, less than that. Xiaoxu, his ultimate's coming back up soon. Hope no flash, he'll die. This might lead to the Baron. Hope does manage to get the kill onto Pays on his way out, though. 80 carry for 80 carry. Shockwave and the... Oh, God, it's so... Okay, right, spaghetti everywhere. Xiaoxu and Scott both missing their ultimates. JDG get themselves the enemy AD carry down, and I wonder whether they should go towards the Baron now. Get that recall in. If they can get towards the Baron, I think they can look for the fight with 30 seconds on the Nymaera. Surely JDG can go towards that. Shun. My guys. Go towards the Baron. There's no way to carry. Go take Baron. Jesus. Going into the replay. Oh, what a bad stun from Shanks. Oh, God. But then Hope gets... not Hope. Hayes gets punted out by the Poppy ultimate. Hope was stood over the wall, even with no flash, could do that. Great W from Tarzan too to stop that. Okay, I think JDG missed an opportunity to quickly rush that Baron. I do think so. Xiao Shu is not Xiao Hu, right? No, they are very different players. Xiao Hu playing through Weibo was just bowed out of this player, so they'll be in regionals. Very even game in terms of gold. We are heading into hyper late game, full build on Hope, who has a GA. That Guardian Angel will give him that extra life in the fight. JDG have vision control over Baron. They don't spot that blue trinket. Xiao Shu does have ultimate, and he's very strong. This Ambassador is so terrifying, actually. Xiao Shu has been so critical to JDG's performance over this split. JDG have had a lot of ups and downs, and I think Xiao Shu coming in to replace Arla in this split has been such a bright point for JDG. 5-1 and 9. Has a GA himself. I wonder if he's missing something like that Cyrilda's. That Cyrilda's could be so important for burst damage. You see that Anyone's Legend really struggling to cleanly play out fights, though. Their only damage going to late game is this Nymaera. And Nymaera is not the most reliable of late game hyper carries. You don't have that much lifesteal. You're not that survivable. Stuff like GA and shield bow can only do so much, really. Not crazy long range either. But we're getting 3 items for the junglers. Shun's got 3 items. His GA is on cooldown, but it's in a strong point, you know? Quite hard for him to play these fights into Poppy. Draw needs to be a little careful. 4 levels down on the rest of the map is Draw. Slow dance around the dragon. It's a waltz. Slow one. How about 2? BPM, the tempo. Quite slow. Hayes building up to what we presume is Infinity Edge as well. That's a huge breakpoint if you can get that last. Scout looking towards Zhonya's himself. That'd be critical for defense onto something like the Leona ultimate at points. Still has that Seekers jumping out onto the Scion. But remember, there's no Cyrildas on Xiao Shu, so the damage is not fantastic. Hope pops the ultimates. Not that much damage coming through from that, actually. And his ultimate will time out, so no ultimate anymore from Hope. That'll... Transcended Spirit will go down. Does have the Molten Shield from Annie to protect himself. That's actually quite important. I haven't considered that before, but we're going late game. Get more and more levels into that. Okay, now no ultimate from the Nymaera. JDG finally start the Baron. There's a dragon in a minute too. If you lose a fight here, you might lose the dragon afterwards. Poppy ultimate. How good is that going to be? Coming out of the brush, and we'll manage to get the wall. Sun going forward to Scout. Uses the Seekers. Has Flash to reposition as he goes out as well. Flash ward from Flandra. Triple Shockwave. And I think Flandra might be left out to die. Xiao Shu does have the GA. Flandra still alive just about. Shun goes down. No smite. And Anyone's Legend will take the Baron afterwards. With that in mind, they might just get the dragon afterwards too. Smite coming through. JDG can't quite clutch it out. Scout went golden, used the flash, Pays had to as well. So many summoners used. Shun caught out again too far into the front line. The JDG don't have the damage to really defend the resurrection point on the GA. Poppy ultimate and the wall stun after so clutch from Tarzan. It is an absolute pleasure to watch Tarzan play. Not just the Poppy ultimate, but just the split second after a flash forward for a stun to get Scout into a worse position. Critical from our all-star, superstar jungler of Tarzan. So JDG will see another dragon go over towards Anyone's Legend. The Baron there too, of course. Xiao Shu not going towards the Cyrilda's last. I wonder whether that's a mistake, you know. I do wonder. Oh, sorry, I just punched the microphone. I needed to because Sam wasn't here. Because I do think that Xiaoxu does need the extra help to kill someone like the Scion at points. Anyone's Legend pushing across the whole map now. Resetting, going through the Hex Gates, prepping the other side of the map. I don't think they'll get to break the base in this push now, though. With a minute and a half left. Hang on a second. Shun has no flash. There's a teleport coming. No, there's no teleport coming in. The ultimate coming through. Shun caught out again. Shun's had a pretty poor game here on the Pantheon. Most of his ultimate spotted out by Anyone's Legend. Most of his team fights thwarted by Poppy W's. And like 1 and 5 on the Pantheon. Now, is it a hard game to play? Yes, absolutely. It's not always on Shun as a player, but Anyone's Legend have very much made sure that Shun's impact has not really been that impactful. And now, because the jungler is dead, they can break the base. JDG had to leave the inhibitor turret for dead, and the inhibitor itself. There's still no last item coming in from Pei. He's not been able to get himself that. Tarzan pops up that ultimate, and that means that they can go towards Nexus turret number 1. Can they kill it totally? I think they can, because they have the 2 grubs, and that's going to be a great wall stun onto Scout. Xiaoxu missing the ultimate. It was dodged away from Shockwave. Not bad, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and Xiaoxu will go down too. Anyone's Legend take 1 pick onto Shun and roll into a game win. Hope will spring eternal, because JDG will have to think about the next game in the series. Going down 0-1, Anyone's Legend, a quick lead in this lower bracket match. Anyone's Legend take the lead. Level 1. I suppose there is the hook available for Kyle. W start for draw. Let's get it hooked up. Passive will land onto him. Not leading to that much, though. JDG win draft? I don't think it's as easy to say that. I think the Renekton is pretty good against this whole team. The Wukong's very good against this team. And I worry for JDG that while the Aatrox can carry games like this, there's a lot of follow-up damage to make sure the Aatrox doesn't get to do anything. Pei's on Xayah. Maybe he can make a difference. Pei's is very good at champion, of course. Junglers on opposing paths. Shun going top to bot. Tarzan going bot to top. I'm really sorry to the announcer. Please forgive me. I have no idea what you mean. I mean, what are you sorry for? Whatever could you be sorry for? 3 teleports for Anyone's Legend, worth noting, because they're running it on the Ziggs as well as their solo lanes, as is customary. Level 2 hit by Pei's and Draw. Of course, Draw in a bit of an interesting spot, because... Interesting. Yeah, it's one of the more notable things about JDG, right? They changed a lot of members coming into this year, and throughout this year. They started with Missing, their long-time support. Missing was a staple part of the furniture, really, part of the landscape of the LPL. But he was playing poorly. Realistically, 24 was pretty bad for him. And then this year didn't start that much better. He did recover a little bit, I will say. It wasn't as bad towards his end of his tenure here. And they replaced him with Wink. Missing went. And then Wink wasn't the answer either, so they went towards Draw. And Draw wasn't convinced by him for most of this split. But then I think he's ticked up again into playoffs, so I suppose some credits to him. Trading of Qs in this top set. And of course, Xiaoxu came in for Arla. Arla was very good for JDG, but perhaps there's something we didn't know about Team Atmosphere, or something off the rift that we weren't aware of. Xiaoxu's been good. He's been very good. Flandra gets to demolish on the tower first plate in. So we'll get that plate gold for the first back, actually. Neither jungler crossing paths, as we said. They're going opposing directions on the map. How's on top side now? Ah, Xiaoshu getting quite low. W does land onto Flandra. Flash, the only thing needed to escape there. So Xiaoshu will burn the summoner and live. Flandra, good W onto him. Shanks just land himself the combo. My favorite Galio combo is where you hit with the either the W or the E. You slam, hit with your Q, and then either W or E, whichever one you didn't use before. And you get the slam again because it comes immediately off the cooldown. Because Galio cooldown gets reduced by about 4 seconds every time you hit someone with an ability, and it's an 8-second cooldown. So you get that double slam in. Very, very fun. Good damage. Scout jumping beyond the winds of war. That good trade from him. You do expect the Ryze to get control in this matchup early, but realistically the whole thing that Galio provides is in a safe lane, very hard to exploit the Galio. Yes, you'll lose out a little bit, but who cares, really? Then you get to follow the global, you have good wave clear. Ryze can't threaten you that much in the side lanes because you're so good at magic defense, really. And then you can follow your team into the play after. Also, just a lot of your disruption is within the range of Ryze. Ryze, when he tries to walk forwards, Galio can often do an awful lot to cause issues. Caught out here, but no QE from Pays, and then he steps up and doesn't really know what to do with that, and gets dunked on a little. Shun coming down now. No buffs, but perhaps doesn't need it. Kyle. Flash for Shun. Knock up onto Hope. Very low HP on Pays. Took a lot of damage from Hope on the exit of that play. And Shun will trade flash for flash, while getting huge amounts of value there. Hope still has the teleport, worth noting. So, worth noting has become one of my stock phrases, but it's a good one. I won't discredit it too much. Tarzan going to start the dragon now, likely. Hope can clear a wave, teleport back in. Tarzan not going to start it? Alright, okay. Maybe just afraid of the Realm Warp. Waiting until Kyle's here. Maybe waiting until Hope teleports back in as well. Here's a scuttle to be taken anyway. There's no camps for him to be taking, so... Bit of a freebie. Ooh, hook onto Scout. Bomb damage. Satchel back. Minefield gets a bit of a slow, but the Phase Rush has slow resist on it, so it won't matter that much. Tarzan on the other side of the wall. And the minions were picked up by Hope, so no harm, no foul. First backs. I mean, we had seen some Wukongs not go for the Sheen first, but I think everyone's kind of been going for that now as Wukong players. Also, you don't get any HP off of it, which makes it a little bit awkward for a first back compared to Tunnelers, which are built by most other AD skirmisher junglers. Hey, how's Rob? Let's see. First game was back and forth, just finished watching the highlights. Yeah, and I think Tarzan was the standout. His Poppy was game-changing. His ultimates were very, very clutch, and his wall stuns were better too. Shun had a bit of an awkward one playing the Pantheon into the Poppy. It's a difficult matchup. Couldn't really get value in the team fights in the way that he wanted to. This dragon was taken by Annual's Legend in the last minute as well. I have a question about the LPL UI. Is there a reason they don't put a space between the team acronym and the player name? Yeah, because in Chinese written language, they don't have spaces. So there are very few spaces in the written language of Chinese. Same with Japanese too. So it just follows on from that. Grub started by JDG. There is a level 6 from Hope. There isn't from the Nautilus. If Nautilus can get level 6, that would be so crucial. Grub not stolen there by Hope. Flandra's quite low HP. Does have Dominus, but you don't really want to be fighting from that HP. Wanted to pop it early so we can get some rage, get an Empowered W and a Q. Tarzan will take that one. Smite fight for the last one. This will be for the second and for the feats of strength marker off of it. Tarzan gets it and the combo comes through. Kyle gets level 6 into play and Shun will go down. Where's the further pullback from Pace? Can he get anything from it? Just one more Q needed from Tarzan and he gets it. Galio now coming into the rescue. Scout flash forward but couldn't get the kill. Shanks, can he get himself any damage? Goes for the slam. Hayes will flash away. Anyone's Legend, 2 kills, 2 grubs, and a 1 venture into the topside river. Anyone's Legend. I don't think they quite expected the crazy value from the Cyclone and the Depth Charge and... Wait, hang on. How does Kyle get... He gets it off the grub kill. The grub kill gets him to level 6. Are you kidding me? The extra damage, the extra disruption. Ah, man. Did fall behind in that that support XP, and then Paze gets hit by the ultimate of Shanks. And has to flash away lest he died. Yeah, Shun's having a rough one. That one is huge value from Tarzan. The smite being 1 means that Kyle gets the level 6. And not only do you lose the grubs, you lose the fight. I mean, the Nautilus ult is kind of luxury, but I think they were likely winning it even without it, you know, but still. Insult to injury, really. JDG picked Xayah. Xayah, God bless. Pace is very good at the pick. A little bit worried that if he gets Nautilus ulted, he won't be able to play the fight very well. He'll have to use his ult early, and that makes it much harder to play around things later. Shun coming topside. Flandra has Dominus, is hit by the W. Flash forwards, and the Dominus comes through. Empowered Q gets some healing in. Flandra gets the second part of the E as well, and it won't be enough. Flandra, hit by too many skill shots, goes down, even with his ultimate. Shun's flash well invested there. I think there should be a stopped recall, I think. Pace does have ultimates. Kyle does not on the other side. I think he just used it in this bot side. There's a roll mob coming in, and he won't be stopped by the Galio. Galio has ultimate coming through. And Scout's been left out. Left out to dry, no flash. Sword will land. Scout tried to come to their aid, but instead became another casualty. Haze and Draw, they're not even able to quickly recall Hope. Not going to be able to stop them this time, though. But JDG lose another kill. Scout was the right instinct to protect the bot side. It was the right instinct, and I don't think necessarily it was a quote-unquote mistake. But JDG weren't in position to protect him as he came down to shadow the bot lane. What is Scout doing? I mean, he's trying to be there to stop the dive coming in on bot lane. Instead, they peel off a bot lane and go towards him instead. I mean, either way, you're still going to get Paze and Draw missing out on some farm. Wave will be pushing towards bot side. I wonder if Hope can even get a plate here. I think there was a plate taken in that plate. It's either 4 down there on the bot side of the map. Minimap. Dragon spawning now. Blackfire torch in from Hope. Strong item point for him. The item's been nerfed over time, but a strong one all the same. I don't really think you can contest this as JDG. You don't really have the positioning for it, and should have pathing away. So indeed, they won't be contesting. Scout's pushing top side. Rather wait for him to get a lane pushed in before they look for any more skirmishes, really. The Rise is quite important to JDG's early game. Having that point and click CC, the very quick push and roam. The HP to brawl. It's actually... Wait, Hope is like 25% win rate on Xayah. So he's more like... Oh my god, that's a fair point. Hope Xayah has never been that great. Yeah, I remember his game at... It was his first game at MSI. It was really not great, I will say. That was on the Xayah. Wait, the Southern Cross and the recall? Wasn't that the Cassidin skin? whatever the Castellan, the blue and gold Castellan skin. This is a very nice skin, by the way. Very nice skin. Oof. Ultimate thrown out by Hope. Stops the recall. One of the most annoying things about playing as Ziggs or Jinx. Celestial Castellan, isn't it? Is it Celestial? Cosmic Reaver? Is that the one? Yeah, Cosmic Reaver. Yeah. I used to play that skin a lot, actually. Still do when I play Castellan Fans. Slower game again now, as we wait for objectives. Breakpoint tiles then going in towards mid lane. And immediately forces out the ultimate from Pays. Realizes if he gets hit by that Cyclone, things probably go south pretty quickly. So Pays down an important peeling summoner. Not summoner, ultimate, that's the one. I'm curious why Ziggs has never picked in game 1. The champ has crazy wave play, great damage, and semi-global ultimate. I think the champion's very good. It's often played in mid lane more often. That good damage on the draw. Ignite was popped onto him. Kyle has a heal hidden behind the Ignite though, and we'll cycle back around to that summoner. Okay, Herald is alive. JDG teleporting up towards it. Looks like they're really invested into this one. Anyone's Legend do have multiple teleports to bring in themselves, but, I mean, Hope's on cooldown. Shanks just used his. Flandra could recall and go towards it. If he teleports now, it'll be a little too late, though. I wonder whether he should just stick bot lane and hit the turret. Okay, no, he's teleporting in. Wants that first item. Ultimate coming through, Bashan pops the ultimate himself. Tarzan, that Cyclone's not that much value. Much better fight for JDG right now. Scout jumps onto by Flandra, and in the pit, things get messy. Xiaoshu double kept over the wall. Potentially getting for a third one here. Shanks does not have the flash, and I wonder whether anyone's Legend this time have chosen a fight which they can't really check in. JDG gets to the objective first. Hope will flash, will satchel, will make it out alive, but they'll lose 3 and the Herald in the fight. Herald not actually dead in the play, but JDG will quickly return to it. JDG, that's the play which they really wanted. Suddenly, this Aatrox is very, very far ahead of the curve. Galio's winning in CS. Occasionally Galio can do. No, Chovy is a player of all time with this champion, for instance. Shun will finish off the Herald. So what happens here? Because, folks, this is a play with the Xayah ult down. The Ziggs ult is poor. You're going on to the Shinzo, immediately pops ultimate. Going towards the Aatrox. I mean, I guess the Xayah isn't the game-winning factor here, the fight-winning factor. You have to kill the Aatrox in the intro to the fight. If Aatrox doesn't die, you are dealing with a very, very angry Darkin. He just heals for forever. Welcome to the channel, Tatarei. Hope you're doing well. Scenario's Legend behind 1,000 gold. And perhaps we see a blueprint for how JDG can win the fight. If you focus the Aatrox, Pays will carry, and if you focus the Xayah, perhaps Xiaoshu will instead. Dragon in 10 seconds. We do have Pays with both summoners and ultimate. Xiaoshu has flash and ultimate. Herald in mid lane to force mid lane priority, which allows them to go towards Dragon easier. Annual's Legend, they might give up this Dragon. I don't know whether you can test this AL. Xiaoshu hooked up. That's not an awful start, I suppose. The exhaust used onto him. Terrible charge mid lane won't kill the turrets. Won't do that. Of course, bonus for JDG as the redemption heals them up is that they managed to deny the Herald away from the Ziggs, because the Ziggs is very good with the Herald, using that charge to immediately kill a turret. The Herald won't kill it, but the Satchel will afterwards from the Ziggs. Anyone's Legend clearing through the bot side camps. Scout spotted. Just wait, Ziggs is monstrously OP. He'll outscale everyone. Perhaps, but if he fights now, that won't be the problem. Shun does pop the ultimate, but takes a lot of damage before that happens. Feather pullback is massive onto Kyle, and Xiaoshu likely get a reset. Okay, that's one of them. One for none so far. In Anyone's Legend, we were saying, look, realistically, don't take this fight. They did. They lose one, and they will lose the dragon afterwards. Not great from them. JDG, great feather pullback. Great use of the Aatrox ultimate. And the healing and damage he can provide. JDG, stop the dragon stacking for now. We'll get a bit more gold in pocket. They don't have anyone who can cut through the Aatrox right now. Yeah, and that's a problem. You need realistically maybe 2-3 items on Ziggs to do that cleanly. Ah, he got punted over the wall. Flandra's flash not used well. And I'm not gonna lie, even if Flandra does get the W flash kill there, you know, big combo, I'm not really sure AL win the fight afterwards anyway, because Xiaoshu is very high HP. Now you have some anti-heal from Hope. Flandra with a black cleaver will, well, I'd say have a better time in that match. It was 1,000 gold down on Xiaoshu. Mentioned this last game, and we mentioned this in every series with JDG in it. Xiaoshu has been great for this team. He's probably not a player if you're not an LPL enjoyer. I say, like a long time, like an actual like regional LPL enjoyer that you've heard of that much. Xiaoshu spent a lot of time on the likes of RNG. He was on on RA. He was on RNG for a little bit as well, I believe. Like, Xiaoshu's not been on a big team for a while. Not for a while, forever, really. This is his shot, really, to showcase that he can be a top-tier top laner. I think he's proved that this split. JDG, when they've looked good, has often been through Xiaoshu carrying them by the scruff of the neck. The guy is very, very good. Funnily enough, Xiaoshu, I believe he was in... I want to say he was in the first series I ever cast of LPL. I want to say that was the case. Got fond memories of him. I've been a big believer. Big believer in him. I'm glad to see that he's had his shot. Ala's shoes were hard to fill, though. They were. But Ala was removed from JDG. We don't know whether it was internal issues or something like that. Scout spotted out by Shanks. Scout will not spot Shanks in that brush, of course. Atakan alive. Scout. Ooh, that could be a problem. Double slam combo likely to income here. No, Shanks not going for that second one. Redemption used very quickly on the top side. Not wanting to chance it. So Redemption down. Not that long a cooldown. I guess it's more like an ultimate cooldown, the Redemption, isn't it? But you should throw it out easily, I think. Throw it out. Yeah, if you can get value from it. Yeah. Did he play with Uzi? No, he only played on the, like, the downswing era of RNG, sadly. Can you host a solo live like this at Worlds? No screaming, minimal noise, just caster game? So if I were to get co-streaming rights, I would have to use the main broadcast. I don't believe I can use the clean feed. And I don't know what I would do for Worlds co-stream, but it probably would be a bit more chill and a bit more informative. I don't think you can get clean feed for Worlds, though. No, I don't believe that's the case. I think you do have to use the main broadcast. I have asked, though. I have asked for Worlds co-streaming rights. Hopefully I get it. Wish me luck, folks. Atakan started. Teleports in from both sides. A bit late coming in from the Renekton. The Atakan takes a lot of HP off of Hope, but then again, the Ziggs doesn't really need the HP if he's not in range. He's been leashed a little bit now, and suddenly it's JDG that can walk towards this. Great damage onto Pace. Great damage onto Pace. The 2-3 item transition point for the Ziggs. Really nice. That Horizon focus, such good stats, and now suddenly it's been leashed back again. Flanders ticking up the Rage. Tarzan pulls out the Cyclone Scout, damaging on the other side of the fight, and there's a Galio ult to help the Renekton stay alive. Can he go any longer than that? That's so close. Shun flashing away, trading his life for the Atakan secure. Scout getting good damage through Xiaoshu. How much more can he do? The flash forwards, flashed away from Means that there's no follow-up. Hayes has to cleanse out very quickly. Shanks wants to get away from the feather. Pull, back, draw, trying to get some CC down. Xiaoshu, he's running out of his ultimate, and the healing and the damage will go with it as well. Xiaoshu hits the floor. His Hayes has very painful left little ammunition to fight through the back of the fight with. Flash is traded back and forth as Anyone's Legend get themselves the Atakan and slightly better of the fight. 2 for 1. Realm Walk maybe starting these off a little bit more though. Scout has enough HP to maybe get himself an extra play. The Warrior Trickster's pretty damn good from Scout. From Tarzan, stop Scout getting the clean kill, but 2 kills back means that JDG will get the tower and get more kills from the play. Great consolidation ultimate from Scout. The end of the play looked like it was in sight, but Scout pulls the ultimate to maintain it a little bit more. Gets the 2 kills at the end of it. Honestly, great play from Scout here. The initial play, I thought maybe a little too far from Flandre. He's quite low on gold. The Galio ultimate, the rage ticking up, means that at least he can trade his life for the Atakan secure. Shun is out of the fight now, realistically. Very low HP. Also, great cleanse from Hayes. Ooh, that root. Hayes, so scary on the side. He's a very good Xayah player. I mean, you think, okay, after this point, fight's over. Of course, the round warp comes in afterwards. Dragon is alive. Anyone's Legend. Do they have the stats now to take the dragon fight that they couldn't before? The Atakan's a little bit of a anomaly, right? Because you do have the shred involved too. Atakan giving the petals to Anyone's Legend. Good XP, good adaptive force. Kyle hanging out on his brush here. Xiaoshu starting to go forwards on to Shanks. He does not have himself a flash. The Ziggs ultimate comes down. It's getting a bit messy. I'm not sure JDG have the entrance to the fight that they want, but Flandre is too weak. Flandre does manage to get himself a lot of damage onto the jungler before, though. Pace, how much can he do? He needs to pick up the DPS. The Aatrox is down. Shanks trying to get the last bit of damage, but Pace pulls things back, and the Galio ultimate just about gets him out to safety. So close to Hero's entrance. Uses a Hero's exit. He'll have to recall somehow. He's very low HP. Tarzan with the Smite alive should be able to get the 3rd dragon for Anyone's Legend as JDG can't quite close down the plays which they want to. Flandre once again dying to make sure that the fight afterwards goes their way. At least trading enough damage onto the Xin Zhao to make that Shun doesn't really get the clean team fight. Teleport into the mid lane now. Remember, you do have the satchel from Ziggs. If you get good turret damage down, Ziggs finishes it off very quickly. Warrior tricks to use. Ziggs ult not going to hit here. W movement speed from Pace helping him. Draw caught on the way, and Xiaoshu doesn't have ult. That could be a bit of an issue. Tarzan though caught up. The Warrior Trickster is good. Shanks, he's knocked up, and I'm not sure the phase rush will save him. There's no flash. The root doesn't land from the Xayah, but it's not needed. Anyone's Legend caught out. Hayes providing such a threat on the Xayah. And with more gold in pocket now, with Baron alive, perhaps they feel like they can turn on this. Very similar to the last game, actually. JDG losing around the Atakan, but then somehow able to pick things up around the Baron. A similar script on different sides of the rip. Hayes stacking up those feathers now. No ultimate for him. There's no Ziggs ult, though. Flandre caught up. He'll die. Quickly peeled off for the Baron. Quickly back towards it, you'd imagine, afterwards. Poke coming in. Scout caught out on the side. Goes golden. Tarzan has another bit of the Cyclone. The Ziggs ultimate coming up in the next few seconds. Xiaoshu does have to Q's great satchel away to save his jungler. Hope getting value. And the Ziggs ult is back up. I think Anyone's Legend have managed to dissuade JDG from finishing the Baron now. This is the play around the dragons. Shanks didn't have flash. It's a very good disengaging set of plays from, I think, Kyle and Hope, just making sure that the team of JDG have to step back a little more. Flandre's going to be trading his life a lot in these fights, and I'm sort of worried that he just doesn't get value from the amount of gold he has now. So close to killing that Galio. So close. Flandre really do be making space this game? True. Yeah, he's really trying. I mean, credit to Flandre. He's 0-4. I think he's actually providing quite a lot of value, given the fact that he's very, very low gold in this game. was that Draw's talent flash? Yeah, no, the flash, the smite. Yeah, he used the Spellbook smite. I was thinking, what the hell? But I suppose that technically what it means is that you can get a stronger smite later into the game if you cycle around to it multiple times. The game slows down again. JDG, significant advantage in solo laners and in that AD carry. Pays his 403 on the Xayah. We did say he's a big threat. Baron started again. Hope is still strong, even though he's behind gold. The Ziggs is strong. And the control ward doesn't spot the second ward in the pit. Right. We've heard of one ward, but what about a second one? Shin walking towards this. And I do wonder whether Flandre can keep providing the value he's done in some of these team fights. It's already been a bit fast and loose so far, really. Thank you, Hazrock. I appreciate you. Baron ping-ponged back and forth. Shanks does have time to recall and teleport back in. Void Staff for Ziggs, but Hope doesn't... he doesn't have a teleport. He'll have to commit his ultimate to the play, and with the Ziggs away, it is just going to be a flip. We're flipping for the Baron, boys. Tarzan can get into the pit. Will it be a steal? It is! It is a steal! 14 HP! And that's just enough. Oh, it's disaster for JDG. They'll roll up towards topside. There's no escape for Flandre. But realistically, they get the Baron. Oh, God, JDG. They can't keep Tarzan out of the pit. I mean, Dragon's coming up in 30 seconds. Maybe you can set up for that instead. But God, JDG, it didn't have to be this way. Ah, Jesus. They tried to twin it up with the feather pullback at the same time. And it gets so... 14 HP. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. They've twin it up with the feather pullback, hoping for the Mega Smite. Dragon now coming alive. Tarzan will run out of base. JDG will have first crack at this. AL, they probably should leave well alone the Dragon. They probably should. Dragon will go down. It's the second Dragon for JDG. AL instead should be setting up the map to use their Baron buff on 3 members. They don't have it on the Renekton, which is a tad annoying, so you like to leave him solo in a side lane. Pushing with it. Shanks might be the one to do that instead now. AL, they did kind of move towards the Dragon. I wonder if that was a mistake, actually. I wonder if they should have just pushed out top lane instead. Realistically, they were never going to fight that Dragon with 2 dead coming out of base as the Dragon spawned. So AL, you have how many? 1 minute of Baron. I mean, I guess the big thing about the Baron is that you don't give it to JDG. JDG can't use it. I am a little sad that AL did not choose to push out something like top lane while the Dragon was going down. I think they could have had much more value. Perhaps they thought they could sneak away a soul. I'm not so sure about that. 46 seconds now. They should be able to get damage onto the tower, use the satchel. They will open up the mid lane turret. There you go. Hook onto the... Oh, God, it's a hook onto the Aatrox. This could be a big mistake for JDG. 1 down. 30 seconds left for the Baron. It's not going to lead to that much. Scout on the side. Realm Warped to get closer to the play, I believe. I didn't actually catch exactly where I used it, but his ult is on cooldown, so I'm going to go by context to that. AL will end this Baron push with not a crazy amount of gold earned. And now with the Xayah ult down, perhaps they can get an extra inner turret, maybe. Want to slam onto this turret. Pays to get a huge chunk there from just 1 bomb. Satchel not even needed. We'll end up having a 2,000 gold Baron power play. JDG, why did you have to flip the goddamn Baron? Because we're getting to the point now where you've given a lot of gold over to Hope, and Hope can be such a pain. Xayah doesn't like playing into the Ziggs, and Pays is a very good Xayah, but he has to blow his ult early because there's, you know, something like the Nautilus ult onto him. The Ziggs can just end your fight with 1 good skill shot. The ultimate, the Q. 4 items on the Ziggs. Yeah, you're 1,000 gold behind, but still great items, isn't it? Well, like Pays is itemized defensively against the Ziggs. Ah, they spotted him recalling. That's what I'm sorry. I just had to just brain off for a second. Hope through the ult at him. God, it's so much damage. Just what a... The ult from Ziggs will take about 60% off of the Xayah now. And he has to go towards lifesteal and not a more. Hang on, Shanks. That could be a problem if the root lands onto him. Okay, he wasn't the center of the ult this time. And there's a shield on top of him. Only takes a quarter of it because of that. Dangerous from Shanks there, though. If he'd gotten rooted up by the Xayah, I think that would just be death. Shun going forwards. Pops the ultimate very quickly. I mean, it's level 16, not the longest cooldown. It will be up for the dragon's spawn. Will be up in about a minute's time, or a little less than that with the cooldown he has. What are the win conditions? Scout going forwards. Towards draw. Xiao shoot, getting damage down. Exhaust onto him. That exhaust is very important. Flandre hops over the wall. Does have the GA as well. Redemption Cyclone swinging back. Anyone's Legend find a way to get back into the melee. Flandre in the middle of things has the GA, and he gets a triple Q for such an anemic Renekton. He's doing a hell of a lot of work as Anyone's Legend try to fight around the revive. Flandre going forwards again. Pays ulting defensively. Shanks goes golden, but I don't know whether Pays can carry the fight. Gets another G out. This time out onto Xayah, onto the Tarzan. Renekton goes down, Xiao shoot, no enemy seed, and the Xayah goes down. It's 3 for 1 as Flandre loses both of his lives, but honestly, such big value from him. Scout's gonna get hooked up. He's been satcheled into it. Scout teleports in and goes straight back home. Straight back home. And JDG, they fumble the huge fight that will give the Ocean Dragon to Anyone's Legend, the Ocean Soul, and probably the Baron as well. Tarzan's turnaround with the Cyclone in that fight was magnificent. JDG were convinced that they had AL retreating, but Tarzan turned the defensive motion into an attack. I'm sure we'll see a replay of it. Ocean Soul goes to Anyone's Legend. They'll move over towards the Baron afterwards too, and they'll surely get that with 25 seconds left on Scout. Watch how Tarzan plays out this play. Hope gets pulled back by the W. That is scary. But then watch this. The retreat comes through as Scout walks forwards, and Tarzan finds a pocket of vision to get a Cyclone running. The Ziggs minefield, the Ziggs ult separates out the team in that corridor. But really, Tarzan finding that one little vision play sets things up for success. Suddenly, Shun and Scout are solo HP to play the rest of this fight. Scout had to recall, teleport back in. Pays tries his best. Pays really tries his best. The feathers ripping holes into Anyone's Legend. And the mid-air bomb takes down Pays. Trick shot from Hope. Oh, Scout. That one's a stinker. That one's a stinker. Reminder, folks, that if either of these teams lose this series, they will have a chance in regionals to qualify through to Worlds. Flandre, he's going to die pretty quickly here. Tarzan, not really sure what the plan was there. Trying to buy time, I think, for the top lane push. They do have a Ziggs. They take down this turret very, very quickly. Oh my god, okay. So JDG, they need to find a way to retreat back into mid lane. Turret, inhibitor taken down very, very quickly. Shun, I suppose, trying to look for an engage in here. No Realm Walk for Scout. I suppose that was used for the pick. Potentially onto Flandre. I didn't see exactly where that was used, actually. We were in the middle of the replay. Anyone's Legend, their team fights have been better than JDG. And you know what, folks? I don't want to see people in the post-match thread talking about how Flandre was so shit because he was 0-7 on Renekton. Now, he is 0-7. He's died a lot. But serious credit to Flandre saying, I'm going to use all the breadth of my HP bar to just disrupt stuff. Okay, it was the Realm Walk coming through. You can't really blame Flandre for that one. It's a very good pick off by Scout, and that's nice for them. Of course, Anyone's Legend did get the inhibitor off of that too. Reminder that JDG are playing against the Ocean Soul now. Makes it harder to take extended team fights. If they take individual picks, though, it makes it a little easier. Full build for Pays. Is it enough? Can we see a Xayah miracle? Can we see a Xayah miracle? Typing that comment now just to be annoying. Thanks, Mecha. I appreciate you. Yeah, you know. Gotta make sure there's some contrarians and shit. I didn't know that YouTube commenters can cast a curse. What did you say? The Series 6 Renekton was low-key going insane in the team fights. Hey, well, yeah, you did type that before he died. That is fair, Honorax. You can take that one. You have a little bit of a curse all to yourself. Hope you feel special. Okay, Hope almost at the full build himself, pumping out some big damage here. It doesn't matter that he's behind a little bit of gold. Pretty decorative at this point. Pretty damage to those towers. Oh, catch on to Flandre. Okay, yeah, Renekton actually gets, again, a lot of disruption down. Flandre somehow lives. The 0-7 Renekton lives and does so much work in the backline. Ziggs gets to sit on the artillery platform, and anyone's legend will help them peel back. The Ocean Soul keeping Shanks and Flandre alive. On the other side, minions march towards the Nexus and take half of the HP of a Nexus turret down. Anyone's legend peel back magnificently, taking two, and I wonder whether that's the game now, folks, with 2 dead. Ziggs poke coming in strong, and the Ocean Soul helping them with it. I do wonder whether anyone's legend can get themselves that big play. The Satchel will put Hope across the wall. 2 inhibitors down now. Do they push in for a third? Can they push in for a third? Little bits of poke will matter a lot. Less so onto the Xayah because they have the regen now from the lifesteal from the Bloodthirster. Need something to hit for that, though, of course. Hope pings in with the ultimate, and anyone's legend will choose not to stick with the inhibitor now with Realm Warp. No, not a possibility there, but the respawn's coming through at least. Will recall, spend their gold, get ready for the next phase of play. You have Elder coming up in 2 minutes, Baron just beyond that. Why can't JDG just win? Great question. You know, I think everyone should just be able to just say, I win now. You know, just like your playground games. Hope has Death Cap. Funny little hat for the funny little Jordan. Hey, Solar Puppy, good to see you. Yes, that Death Cap is going to make things hurt a lot. Like a lot. The inner circle of Ziggs' ult goes kind of insane. I will say that ultimate is a ton of damage. Looks like we're fighting around the mega objectives now. A minute on that Elder. Time ticking away. Flandre's GA is back up, as is Tarzan's. That means you've got 2 extra half-lives to go through. Half-life 2, Half-life 3 confirmed. Level 18 on the Renekton. Hey, it doesn't matter that he's 1-7. If he's dying in the right way, who cares? Also worth noting as well, GA is incredibly broken with Ocean Soul. Because Ocean Soul will keep ticking up while GA is active. Same with Zhonya's too. It's very, very annoying. JDG stands for... But JDG stands for very disappointing gameplay. Ah, we found out the curse, have we? The acronym. Elder spawning now. JDG, they have Scout pushing mid lane, wants to recall for one last buy, has teleport to make it to the rest of his team. Anyone's legend have had full control over the Dragon Pit, though. For the last minutes, they have plenty of vision. There is one ward in the back of it, because it's the Ocean Rift. That bush will help them do that. Flandre spotted heading over the wall. Rise teleporting in. We didn't see what he got to buy there. Well, at least I didn't. Blue Trinket used. JDG want to slowly work their way up if they can. Warrior tricks to use. Level 18 for Tarzan. It's a lower cooldown now. I might even get 2 in a fight, you know. The extra damage coming through is nice as well. Elder started by JDG, working the way onto it. Flandre might want to pop the ultimate now to get some rage running. Ultimate, not that great actually, but Xiao Shu, a lot of damage onto him. The anti-heal going onto him too. The redemption, less value because of it. The rage built up by Flandre using that dominance. Flank, potential from Tarzan, has the flash cyclone. Could it be the winds that could break the sails of JDG? It's a massive combo. It's all on Paze. Paze peels back, full HP. A lot of GA starting to get popped around the pipe. Paze pops the cleanse. Damage coming through from the feathers. I actually think Paze can do this. He's starting to carry. You need to take down the Xayah. Taunt not landing onto it either. And the Xayah just keeps ripping through. Still has flash. How much damage can he do? The hook goes wide and Paze will end up living. Smite for JDG, none for anyone's legend. Paze uses the cleanse and the ultimate. The Ziggs ultimate goes wide. Then anyone's legend, see if they can pick up anything more. Shin getting some healing down. Good damage coming through from Shanks. Flandre walking forward, but they need to kill the Xayah. There's a GA left on the Renekton. Paze has a flash. I don't think it's enough. Flashes into the Justice Punch. And I don't think this title fight will be going for another round in this one. Game 2 will be anyone's legend, despite Paze pulling his weight in the fight. He's no Atlas, can't hold up the world by himself. Anyone's legend will take the game late and take it to a 2-0. 3 match points for them now in this lower bracket.
Dryos rang out.
Ooh, okay. Scout flashed onto the Braum passive ticking. Ring of Frost, a little bit of CC, and the Scout is found and will not report back to his army. That'll lead into an invade as well. Oh, man. And typically you'd say, well, starting the W for Lysandra is a problem. Well, it's not like Scout's there to contest lane at the level 1. Tarzan can get the red buff steal now. Get himself an early level 2 here. Well, I say an early level 2. Get himself the level 2 off of that. And what is Shun to do? Tarzan will get the flag and drag. He'll presumably use that to get out of the jungle if it did get hairy. Shun spotted. Tarzan, what does he do now? Level 2 Vi is not that good at fighting, I will say. Tarzan kept his flash. Knock-up lands. Ah, Shun might have to flash it. That's a problem. Level 2 Vi can't do that much. Does get the smite down. Flash away. Shun gets the farm, but loses his flash. Tarzan realizing, yeah, you can fight the Vi pretty well. He's going to walk over to enemy raptors. Now, the problem here now is that you've got Pays and Draw that would love to be using bot lane to get an advantage. Tarzan won't get level 3 off of this. He didn't get enough of the mini raptors. He still has that flag and drag. Shun slightly ahead in terms of XP, in terms of what's available. Knockup not landing onto Pays, bit of healing going down. Kyle cancelling an auto there. Oh, that's a lot of damage. He might go down to another auto attack, and he will do. Lethal tempo, Pix helping out. Misjudgment there from Kyle. Flandra now going in to try and stop Shun from hitting level 3 off of red buff. Shanks walking over as well, and Shun does not have flash. Shanks, can he get himself in to get the extra CC down? If he does, it will be that frozen passive coming down. However, Flandra dies too. Shun still dying on the play, though, means he's so far behind where he should be. He can't get the red steal off. I wonder whether Tarzan now just says, right, I'm just going to go to my own top side, take the red buff away. This is awful for Shun. Anyone's Legend early jungle plan has worked out very well for them. Is there a mod to do a poll on whether I get the compliment before the game ends? You can get it. The only thing greater than Tarzan's early jungling and his pathing is, in fact, the Herald and the Harbinger of Maya, J-Bjorg themselves. Tarzan spot on this red buff. Does have smite, Shun doesn't. Is there going to be a potential steal out here? No. The Herald, the Harbinger of Maya, graces us with their presence in chat, of course. $8-0 for Hope on the Sivir. That's a hell of a stat. He is one of the best Sivir players in the LPL. Very, very strong at this champion. Won his title in 2022 on it. She missing from Kyle. Ooh, jumping balls get another Braum passive applied. Kyle trying to get the most out of the Braum early power. It's quite hard to play, of course, the Braum into the Lulu. You often get bullied out by double range. Knocked back by Flandra. A little bit of XP down. Of course, the kill went over to Xiaoxi. That is a danger point. The Rumble getting scary is, yeah, something which can break any game in the league, really. Rumble is one of those I can do everything champions in the current meta. Dragon's alive. First one of the game spawning at 5 minutes. Tarzan starting up nice and early. Shun just content with farming for now.
Of course, didn't get all the value we would have liked. Dragon will be spotted being taken. JDG will now have knowledge of that. To walk over, apply the Brawn Passer to the dragon. But when Tarzan gets this dragon done, he will still have his blue buff and his raptors to go towards. He's got camps available. Romps has respawned too. So Tarzan wants to take his raptors and then clear down. Shanks avoiding the flick back there. So the reason why Tarzan doesn't go for his closest camps is because he wants to clear towards bot lane. So as long as he does raptors and then goes through his bot side, he's clearing in the direction that he wants to keep going. Now, typically as a jungler, the way that you start clearing your camps is the way that you will continue clearing camps to the rest of the game. So if you go bot to top, you'll keep going towards top lane. If you go top to bot, you'll keep going towards bot lane. Tarzan just wanted to do that there. Culls for both AD carries, playing the long game, no surprise when you have a Sivir in the game. Kai'Sa with the Lulu, playing towards more about scaling than explosive power. Whoa, I thought that Ricochet just disappeared there, and I realized that the auto-attack was just cancelled, strangely. Oh, Hope was thinking the Q was going to come in that on Spell Shielder early. Gold is dead even. 10 CS lead for Tarzan in the jungle is fairly relevant, actually. Doesn't mean that Shun is going to be late towards his level 6. We know that Tarzan can take individual jungle leads and do disgusting things with them. The jungle gap this series has been pretty intense, and some of it has been matchups for Shun, but I do think that Tarzan has just been immense. He's been immense against everyone he's played against, really. I say that, I mean, Tien genuinely out-jungled Tarzan in their first series, though. It's the reason why AL really fell down in that series. Tarzan, so often, the guy which just breaks games. Tien broke him first. Wait, Talia's on an 11-game loss streak in the LPL? Are you kidding me? Wow, okay. Didn't realize that. Grub started now. Shun on it. Does have the level 6. A little bit low HP. You do have Lissandra in plays like this, though, which could be kind of spooky. Flick back onto Flandra. That's a bit of a problem. Probably should have pressed W there. Equalizer now coming through. Hope flashing out of it. Xiaoshu strong on his own. Shax goes in for a mega combo. And the dunk comes in after, but they don't get the kills. Shun turns around for his first kill of the game. And yes, the Brawn passive is rocking, but Xiaoshu burns harder. Electro Harpoon's starting to land and getting some slows down. 1 kill. No Lissandra passive coming through. Shun, good damage coming through. AoE on that. Flandra, can he get the all out? He can, but it's not on the right angle, and he'll go down as well. Anyone's Legend lose the first big fight of the game. Shanks, good AoE engage, but did not land enough damage to start getting that passive rolling. JDG, they have given Anyone's Legend some early game fights, some problems to them. Is that a teleport coming in from Braum, or is that from... Yeah, it is from Braum. 1 of the grubs will come in. Teleport in from Kyle will mean that 2 go to Anyone's Legend. 2 kills to JDG off of that fight. 1 grub. I don't think they'll mind that, though, considering that Shun feels pretty happy, considering how badly the early game was going. Flandra presses the W early, and then... Okay. Yeah. That's not great from Flandra. That was really quite poor, actually. So he loses all of his HP and doesn't have his tank potential either then at that point. The dunk's not bad. Oh, the shield last second. Because if Jewel dies there, you lose your Enchanter, the Pix goes, you get a Lissandra passive threatening the team, which is really high damage, actually. And the fight goes poorly because it doesn't happen. They dive in very deep, can't quite get it. Things fall apart. Game slows down again. Dragon is alive. Ultimate's largely back up. Coming up now. Xiaoxu just used his equalizer, of course, but the Vial back off cooldown. Tarzan's dunk off cooldown as well. Imagine JDG have to let this one go because Xiaoxu doesn't... Yeah, he wants control over topside, really. Individual advantage for the Rumble, I think, is a bit of a win condition from JDG this game. I think a good enough Rumble lead can win JDG the game, and Xiaoxu has been a guy that can take leads in top lane and win games for them. Quite worried that Flandre is going to start falling behind what is acceptable in this game. Dragon secured by anyone's legend, 2 dragons for them. Hex Tech Rift, so a bit quicker to move around the map with the Hex Gates. And of course, a very powerful soul to fight for. Anyone's legend, their early skirmishes haven't given me tons to be happy about from this split. Their early game plans are very good in terms of jungle. Their early skirmishes are very risky. We saw that even at MSI. Where Anyone's Legend are a team that they can't take small wins. They have to look for the big power play that breaks the game. Kyle, gonna get jumped onto? I don't think so. I don't think they spot the ward go down there, actually. They don't ping it. Control ward didn't spot it. Oh, stop on the recall by Flandre onto Scout. This could be an all-out angle here. Don't think he wants to go under turret, though. Scout's low HP now. He'd have to recall, wait for the regen, and then go into the fight if JDG wanted to play around this top side. There's no objectives to play around, but, you know, skirmishes are skirmishes. Kyle spotted out here. Shen, ulted by the Lissandra. Well, growth will help a little bit. Doesn't have the flash anymore to go towards a run. It's just coming off of cooldown. The disengage is okay. Scout teleports into the play, but that leaves Flandre alone on bot side, potentially to get himself a turret play here. Remember, there's no objective to play around. It's not like JDG overloading that side of the map means that much to them. Yeah, Xiaoxu will have to teleport now down to the bot side of the map, as Flandre was left there. JDG will lose an ultimate or two, lose the teleport from Scout and Xiaoxu. And that does mean that Anyone's Legend now have a teleport mismatch. They're going to have both of their solo lane teleports coming up in the next minute or so. JDG won't have an answer. Xiaoxu. Decent XP lead over Flandre now. About half a level, all things said and done. Flandre does tick over to level 10 now, but Xiaoxu with a 700 gold lead. Perhaps Xiaoxu, JDG's best player of this split, can deliver them a victory here. I think Pays has been the best player in this series for them. But perhaps Xiaoxu can relive some of the glory of this. I say glory hasn't really been that much for JDG, but no, I always say that. They're still a top 4 team here. Perhaps we do need to revise some things. Their regular season was very ropey, but they have done a good job of climbing up in this playoffs. They really have. Considering that we thought our top 4 were very set and that people wouldn't be challenging them, we thought it'd be top esports, BLG, IG, and Anyone's Legend. IG falling out, JDG slotting in. That's a punch above the regular season performance from JDG, and they're in a good position to fight for a world spot. Scout has been poor this series. Scout has been okay this series, and I think he's been better than his regular season, but his regular season was so poor. Where do you draw the line? This is one of the difficult things about being a commentator for this, and particularly for people that are coming in to watch these teams for the first time in this playoffs, for instance. How do you accurately portray the situation as it is now, and the perspective of the regular season before it as well, and what our expectations are for the teams? JDG will easily take the Herald. JDG... Well, teleport into the other side. Shanks wants to take down the other turret instead. If they can get themselves first turret, they'll get themselves the feats of strength. They have the 2 grubs. Herald is taken by JDG, but they won't be able to go into a turret immediately. They could have maybe killed top lane turret with their Herald to get first turret. They choose not to, so Anyone's Legend will get the feats of strength. And then what were we saying about that teleport mismatch? AL use it to get themselves that turret advantage. So Herald is now in inventory from JDG, but they do lose the feats of strength. They could have gained that with the Herald use immediately. They choose not to. It's the anti-international debuff, isn't it? Rookie isn't allowed to go overseas, even if it's in China. Even if it's not overseas, international is just, yeah. The mere thought of it. Ah, sucks for Rookie. Player which I vastly appreciate and appreciate. Admire, I suppose. That's what I wanted to say. Tarzan spots everyone out on the bot side. 4 men stacked up, but trying to go into a group where the Lulu stood towards the back of the pack is a bit of a problem because he just Wild Growth's the first target. Not sure about this. Gale going on to Pays. Oh, he gets the cleanse, he gets the Wild Growth, and they can't quite get themselves the play. Good damage from Shanks choosing to ult himself, but I think he'll die afterwards. Tarzan going on towards Tro. Can they get themselves the passive from the Lissandra? The broad passive doing well, but Pays is gliding on them. Can they do anything more? I think Pays is out of the fight. Dro's low. Philandra could get himself a push over the wall. Choosing not to. 1 for 1 for 2. Chow Shoot. Shun dying. Shanks dying in place for anyone's legend. A good fight from them. Great AoE damage coming down. And Lulu could only really save the one person in the front of the fight. Dragon will go down. Anyone's legend will get themselves yet again in this series. Dragon domination. 3 dragons. The threat of a Hextech soul being hovered over the head of JDG later into the game. What is the role of JDG's composition? Well, what you're hoping to do is have a long-range disengage comp with Lulu buffing up the Kai'Sa. Great dunk on turn. The cleanse and the flash out after is pretty good on the whole. But the damage from Shanks and from Jarvan is added up now. Ah, yeah. Hope's flash was a thing there. Yeah. Gold leads slightly over towards JDG, but the 3 dragons on anyone's legend give a lot of hidden value. We're getting towards the points now where in a couple of minutes Atakan will be available. JDG have not had great value over the Atakan fights. They've struggled with them. AL have played them better. Blandra got a lot more gold now in this matchup than he did before. Was about 700 gold before, cut it to almost half. Shanks having a pretty good game on the Lissandra so far. Has the Proto Belt and the Pen Boots for immediate burst. Not exactly sure what he's going to go towards next. A lot of Lissandras go towards Shadow Flame second. I don't love it because you don't really get to use the passive that much because you're often engaging the fight when everyone's low, high HP. So I don't tend to love that as much. But the flat pen and the AP, quite hard to shrug off, I suppose. Game slows down again. Atakan in 30 seconds, and that has been the tale of woe for JDG. I just think JDG's composition is so hard to play. You don't really have a front line. Your engage is limited. You're looking to peel back and hopefully use the Lulu and a bit of mobility to escape stuff like the Cataclysm if your jump's on. Shun is engaged onto... And yeah, he's not tanky enough for that one, and he's going to die just before Atakan spawns. I think NEL should just run straight towards it. There's no smite anymore, and JDG, they don't even get a chance to fight the Atakan this time. It should be just completely dominated now by anyone's legend. They'll walk up towards it. Scout tried to aggro it to pull it away from the pit, maybe delay anyone's legend a little. It's pulled the Atakan towards JDG's side of the map. Perhaps gives them some options. Scout perhaps with some decent strategy there. But you don't have a smite. You're looking for a fight, not the objective itself. Shanks is on the flank, and Scout, I'm a little worried for him. Rumble equalizer. Not bad. Scout going to get caught out. Are they going to secure the Atakan? Yes, they are. And they'll get out as 5. Anyone's legend take the pick onto the jungler beforehand. We're going to a play here. Shanks does not have flash, does have an ultimate himself, and his frozen past will take him out to safety. JDG clutching at straws. This could be the end of their playoffs run. Chase going forward. Shun back out onto the map, using the Hex Gates to get across there. It's not a bad wild growth. Perhaps this is the play which they're looking for, but now the Lissandra passive starts to roll. There's 2 of them now. And despite the fact that they take 2 off of the board from anyone's legend, they can't cleanly get the fight. Well played for them to play around the Hex Gates from Shun. But anyone's legends still walk away with 2 for 2, and they get the Atakan. A minute till Dragon, and JDG will be fighting for their lives around Soul. The gold lead is minimal for JDG. That's not going to win them that fight. The Atakan giving the XP and the adaptive force, very important for them. And here we go back into this again. They spot them walking in one by one. And they catch out the most important member for an objective fight, the jungler. No smite available. Their only source of engage. Shanks finds out Scout. Forces his flash out to you. Will use his ultimate to re-engage the play. You can see that the Hex Gates are being... double Hex Gates used from the Vi to get them into the play. It's not bad from Shun. Smites just before landing on the Sivir to make sure the spell shield didn't come through. Great all-out coming through from Flandre to drag someone back into the team. Yes, the Sivir dies, but not a bad turnaround. Right, Dragon spawning now. JDG. Can they find any glimpse of daylight in this series? You can't give over the Dragon here. You can't. It would have to be a steal, but Shun doesn't have a flash to make it in more easily. He could use his ultimate. He's going below half HP. It might come down to a smite fight with Flippin. Shun's going in. Can he save the game? No. Hex Soul. And that may be the soul of JDG being eroded away from them. First kill comes in. Vice down. Pays trying his best. Getting some damage down on the backline. Hope is still alive, though. And Flandre still has an all-out to pull in. It's not a bad fight for JDG. The soul's gone over. But it's not like JDG AL can put down that much damage. Flandre gets some damage down. So close from Hope. But no cigar. Pays will live through the fight. It ends up being a 5-for-1. JDG give over the soul, but take a bunch of gold as payments. Pays some space gliding on Space Vein. He is trying his best. He is absolutely trying his best. Pays, I think, earlier in the year was on my MVP shortlist, actually. He has been stellar for this team throughout parts of this year. Right here again, you can see that Pays gets to just gun down Shanks, who is polymorphed throughout most of this. And despite the fact that Shanks gets good damage back onto Pays, Pays just waits out his cooldowns, flies back in when they're back up with the rest of the plasma ticking, and Pays runs the fight. Hope can't get the same DPS down. Well, oh well. There's Soul now. A lot of gold over to JDG. Can they do that again? No Baron just yet. Now, if JDG can do that for Baron, then we start to have a different conversation, because then that Baron will lead into something like the Elder Dragon, potentially. They need to get that Baron, though, I think. 3,000 gold ahead, rather. But you do get worried, and you're given over that permanent buff. Remember earlier in the year, we were hearing bits and pieces about how parts of the issues from JDG was the fact that Pays needs to be translated for on this team, and Scout couldn't always do that live in-game as the other Korean on the team. We did hear that Ruler kind of got away with this issue by not communicating and just being so good, he just killed everyone. Ruler's a bit of a anomaly, though, when it comes to that sort of gameplay. Okay, right. Hextech Soul definitely affects wave clear and stuff like that for anyone's legend. Little bits and pieces like that. The slow can really be annoying. Again, the extra damage, too, makes it easier to land stuff like the skill shots and draw. Yeah, he's very, very vulnerable here. Suddenly, heal, ultimate use. Tarzan could go for a flash ult, flag drag out now. Suppose draw with the flash, less valuable to do so. Oh, the Hextech Soul opening up a free summoner and an ultimate. as the Baron is available now, well, without the wild growth, anyone's legend feel emboldened to go towards the Baron, perhaps. 3 items hit for both of our AD carries. It's not going through the AP from Pays because he's got double AP solo laners. Went for the Terminus instead. DPS on the AD carry. What's the Korean phrase for just kill them all? Just teach that to every JDG player? That'll work. Yeah. Just learn go and stop. That should work. Play it like a car. Got 2 pedals. One's to go, one's to stop. Any other big items we should be talking about? It was the Shadow Flame from Shanks. We did expect that coming through. Defeat to strength. Gives some extra value to anyone's legend, of course, too. Mikhail's from draw helping out the rest of the team against the Lissandra. We've seen that's why Shanks has been pretty happy to self-ult a lot of the time, get the AoE slow and the extra damage, rather than relying on the single target CC, which can get cleansed. Pays has Seekers? Yes, he does. You're absolutely right. That will give him the AP upgrade at 4th item completion, because the Zhonya's does give you... Is it 105 AP? Something like that. Also knows Nash's Tooth to get the extra AP ratio on auto attacks. Shun around the flank here. Teleport into the mid lane from Xiao Shu. Elder in a minute. Baron available. We are getting to late game objectives for JDG's lives. If they lose, they will be able to qualify to Worlds through regionals, but they don't want to take that chance. Anyone's legend, they win here. They minimum place 3rd, and they'll play against top esports for a chance to shoot down BLG in the finals. Baron now spawning. Elder not available yet. Flandra on the bot lane. He'd like to get rid of that teleport. Baron's not going down super fast, I'll say. Teleport coming in now. They peel off. Baron resets. Elder up in 30 seconds. JDG clearly just wanted that teleport. Hextech Soul Poke. That's annoying. You eat a few more of them and you need to reset. And that will lose you time to set up on the map. Flandra. Big shield onto him. Scout. Does he flash out? Yes, he does. Cataclysm used by Tarzan. Half HP on Scout. We'll have to recall. Oh, and if he has to recall now, it means he won't be here for a fight. Pays. Threatened but not killed. Scout. Needs to regen, really. It's going to come back in. The Hex Gates could help you reset a little quicker, but they're choosing not to use them. Don't want to take the chance. Pays. No W upgrade yet for the reduced W cooldown on hit. Shanks. Hex-gating over. Did he spot Shun? I'm not sure he did. Perhaps he did, yes. I think there was a red ping there, actually. Elder alive. Baron alive. Have to imagine Elder is the more valuable prize, because it allows you to really just win any fight you go towards. Spell Shield tanking that up. Baron going towards... for JDG. JDG choosing this one. Anyone's legend. Do they follow? Looks like they do. Shanks does have teleport. AL, that late game macro has been a little suspect at points. Perhaps they can show us a little bit of improvement here. Under half HP. Are we going for another Baron flip? It's getting low. Tarzan's in the area. Shun forced to flash out, and the Baron's leashed. Perhaps that's the problem. The Braum Shield blocked out the Talir ult as well. The Equalizer trying to force anyone's legend away from this. It is still leashed, still low HP, and Shags has the flank. Shun cleansed out from ult into the play. Can Pays get himself into the backline as well? Shun goes down. The Pays is going to die as well. He goes golden. But he might be finding silver in this game instead. A second place finish for JDG in this series. JDG could not clutch it out. And the backline dive fails. Baron claimed. Elder surely to follow. Anyone's legend snap the spine of Jingdong Gaming. And anyone's legend move closer towards Worlds, closer towards the title here at LPL. They'd set up a date with Top Esports, a rematch at the Winter Finals. And if they were to win that, they've set up a Spring Finals rematch. Shanks, a great flank from him. JDG try and peel back, but they've leashed the Baron. And we were saying, look, the late game macro from AL have left a little bit to be desired. Pays jumps. Pays. I think Pays realized he had to jump out of Lissandra burst. but that was just not the place to do so. Great flank from the Lissandra. Gives a bit of a catch-22. You're damned if you stayed there, damned if you move. Hayes, perhaps he should have flashed to reposition instead of his ult instead. Elder and Baron available for anyone's legend. Surely this is the end of JDG's playoffs run. Okay. AL walking in a little further now. Grouping up. All 5 in mid lane. They have the 2 grubs. Helps them push towers a little quicker. JDG. They finish here. If they go out here, they finish in 5th. In championship points. They'll play against Weibo. In the lower bracket, I suppose, of the regional finals for a chance at Worlds. They have to win 2 back-to-back best of 5s. Kyle blocks the Talia wall again. Scout not able to wall off the minions. Equalizer used for wave clear. But it feels like it is just waiting for the inevitable. The Elder is a threat, and it is starting to open its mouth. 1 down, 2, 3. Sure to follow. The towers go with it. And Jingdong Gaming, we bid thee farewell from LPL playoffs. Anyone's legend. Their executioners will move on with a clean sweep 3-0 and will move on to face Top Esports, where BLG wait